Oh, I made my best friend Samson promise to shoot me if I ever start wearing lycra.
George Fraser is filling up with fuel.
So how about you, man? You a lycra, man?
Nah.
His stomach is a refinery, separating the raw materials from his lunch and passing them into his gut. There is one form of fuel the body craves above all others. A fuel which is absorbed into his blood in vast quantities. Molecules of fat. Fat is a multi-purpose molecule. Most of it is absorbed by cells. Inside, it is drawn towards structures called mitochondria, the power generators of the body. Here, the fat is burned, releasing the energy that drives life. But what his body really wants is a surplus of fat.
How long have you been at Regis and Partners then?
So much that even non-fatty foods, such as carbohydrates from potatoes and pasta, or proteins from meat, will be turned into fat if eaten to excess.
All right, now whose was the creme brulee?
Ah, that's mine.
And the cheese board?
Guilty as charged.
Blimey, George.
I thought Lorraine could keep me company on the cheese board.
And George is eating to excess.
Not too much, because I need some of it for myself.
Okay, we'll take some more.
His blood is awash, with more fat than his mitochondria can burn.
Okay, Lorraine. We'll do business, I hope, huh? Yeah,
Very much. Take care,
George,
guys.
see you later.
Okay, see you.
Come on, take you to the taxi.
Lovely.
What about tonight?
The salsa club. Oh, you love it. We go there all the time.
We? Who's we?
Samson, me, and Samson's girl.
Sorry, but I plan to go to the gym tonight.
The gym? Salsa is the new exercise.
You would say that.
Hey, I'm beginning to go right off you know.
Oh, I hope not.
Tell you what, I'll walk back to the office.
Good for you. And then I was about to give you a lift.
Oh, on second thought.
It'll do you good. So, maybe I'll see you tonight.
I hope so.
The real value of fat
Taxi!
is that it is the only form of energy George's body can store in vast quantities. Specialized cells absorb fat out of the blood and swell, and as long as there is an excess, they will keep growing. Our craving for fat began in our distant past. Fat stores were good news for our ancestors. They never knew where their next meal was coming from. But George knows exactly when his next meal is coming. It's rarely more than a few hours away. His fat stores never get depleted. They just grow.
George, man, move yourself.
Hold your horses!
Horses is right. I need to groom.
2 minutes.
2 minutes to fix a lifetime of neglect. George, come on. All this for a girl who never even said she was coming. Sad man.
I want to know, who is Lorraine?
George's imaginary girlfriend.
Very funny.
Good health.
On average, men have 30% less body fat than women. But women are better designed to carry it. They store it mainly on their breasts and hips, giving them vital energy reserves to see them through the rigors of pregnancy.
Hi, George. That Lorraine?
You know each other?
Yeah, from the gym. Hi, JC.
So although Lorraine weighs 5 stone less than George, she has the same amount of body fat.
Well, you're doing something right. You look fantastic.
Why pump iron when you can shuffle shoe leather, eh? Dance, Lorraine?
George's growing gut is not just the result of overeating. Shaking his hips once a fortnight is the only exercise he gets, which has little impact on his expanding waistline.
Lorraine, come and help me get some drinks. I've never seen George so keen.
I think you trod on her, man.
You're joking.
I'm serious.
I better go and exercise some charm then.
You should.
So what do you think?
Well, I really like him. He's a really nice guy, but it's just a bit so overwhelming.
I know what you mean.
That's mine. Hey. Look. Calm down. Give it here, I'll hide it somewhere.
Going on a diet is like volunteering for famine.
Give me that cheese.
That's mine.
George's body is not going to surrender its fat stores without a battle. It has been programmed by years of habit to recognize that 1 o'clock is lunchtime.
All right then. Okay, bye.
The right cue sets off a chain reaction of signals that trigger a growing sensation of hunger. Hunger takes hold of George's body. His stomach starts to squeeze what's left of breakfast out of the way to make space for lunch.
Sandwiches! There you go. Hi, George.
Hi.
We've got salami and brie, we've got avocado ciabatta, and there's lovely muffins that you like.
No thanks, just plain tuna for me today.
As soon as George looks at his food, his brain starts to calculate how filling it's likely to be. It wants more than just a meal. It wants a satisfying meal. The walls of his stomach contain stretch receptors, which estimate the volume of food coming in, confirming the meagerness of this meal. George has failed to satisfy his hunger. His body faces an unprecedented situation. He hasn't eaten enough to keep him going. George needs extra fuel, but it's not his fat stores his body turns to. Inside his liver, another kind of fuel is stored. Emergency, short-term reserves of glucose. Glucose molecules are energy boosters. They are released fast and quickly burnt in mitochondria. But they only produce half the energy of fat. George's body would normally top up glucose stores after every meal. But George has eaten so little in the past 4 days that his glucose stores are running out.
I think you've got it all wrong about this girl. Come and play basketball. That's the way to lose weight.
No thanks. You give me a donut and a cup of coffee, I'll show you how to dunk.
Using up these stores will have a deceptive effect on his weight loss. When glucose is stored, large amounts of water are locked up with it. As the glucose is released, so is that water. George is urinating an extra litre a day, and that's a lot of weight. In only 4 days, George has lost 7 pounds.
Yes!
But almost all of it is glucose and water. George might think his diet is going well.
Hi, this is Lorraine. Please leave a message after the tone.
Hi, Lorraine.
But his body's fat stores are still intact.
Look, I've got a lot of work to do for the next couple of weeks, but maybe we could get together and chew the, I don't know, dance a cha-cha?
His glucose stores, on the other hand, have almost run dry. And when they do, the battle with his body will really begin.
Look, say you're the cheese and Pearson Sons.
His glucose stores are at an all-time low. To his body, this can mean only one thing: famine. There's no choice but to surrender the precious fat reserves back into the bloodstream. But there's a price to pay.
We can use the cash.
George's fat cells send a warning signal to his brain, which drives his hunger to new extremes. All thoughts are overwhelmed by the aching desire for food.
Are you going to eat that or just play with it all day?
George's hunger drives are interfering with his ability to concentrate on the simplest of tasks.
Do you mind if we do this tomorrow? Fine. We'll do it today.
I don't know why, but Lorraine Harper speaks very highly of you.
Do you know Lorraine?
Through Henry.
Henry?
Henry Pierce? Her boyfriend?
These are bad times for George's body. His fat stores are being drained, and they need to last as long as possible.
You look terrible. How much have you lost?
Everything. She's seen some Adonis named Henry.
His body imposes a drastic energy cut. The mitochondria inside his cells start to burn less and less fuel. George is slowing down.
You're becoming a very sad man, my friend. Why are you beating yourself up about this?
She doesn't like fat men.
Correction. She doesn't like one particular fat man.
Oh, you're wrong. That girl wants the thinner me. The inner me. The man within. The man that's thin.
Oh, look at that smell. That smells fabulous.
Food is extremely important in Italian culture, and meals can... Sandra Kings, indulge.
George may be shedding fat, but when it comes to shedding the pounds, he's in for a shock. Fat is much lighter than glucose and water, so he's hardly lost any more weight. To lose 7 pounds of fat would take George another month. George's willpower breaks. He can no longer hold back his hunger drives.
Hello. Yeah, I'd like to order a pizza. The super deluxe, please. Extra cheese and extra pepperoni. No, in fact, double pepperoni. Oh, do you still do the second one half price? I'll have one of those as well.
Every mouthful brings George pure pleasure, a reward for answering his body's cry for energy.
It wasn't. It wasn't.
Peckish?
Like most diets, George's full frontal assault on his fat stores has failed.
What's it say?
It's over.
But there is another way to lose fat.
Get your stuff. We're going to the gym.
You talking to me?
Though when it comes to losing weight, there's no such thing as a free lunch. After years of neglect, his muscles aren't prepared for what's about to happen to them. The blood supply to his muscle fibers has withered with disuse, so very little fat can be delivered to them. Inside every muscle cell are emergency fast-burning glucose stores. But these are just a short-term fix. As energy demands soar, George's muscles need to generate 50 times more energy than normal. His mitochondria haven't a hope. The task is simply overwhelming. George may feel like his sudden bout of exercise has done him more harm than good.
Where's the remote?
Serves me.
I would if I could catch you.
But as he rests, an astounding metamorphosis begins. Throughout George's muscle fiber, new blood vessels are growing, increasing supplies of energy-rich fat. And deep within the muscle cell, his mitochondria start to divide, doubling the energy they can generate.
Advise you not to rile me.
Stranger himself.
Come in. Quick!
Exercise is transforming George's body to burn more fat. And as his fuel demands rise, his fat depots release their stores.
Oh, thought you'd forgotten how to play.
An elephant never forgets, Keith.
But because George isn't starving himself, this release of fat does not shock his body into thinking famine has arrived. And his hunger drives are kept at bay. It's a virtuous circle. The more George works out, the more efficient his muscles get. And the more fat they burn, the more energy he has. After 8 weeks of vigorous exercise, they have become fat-burning machines. More fat is being delivered, and there are now many more mitochondria to burn it.
George Fraser for Lorraine Harper.
George, hi. Lorraine sends her apologies. She's asked me to look after you while she's away. Henry. Henry Pierce.
Told you were wrong about her.
You know the new me can do much better than Lorraine.
See, you haven't lost any fat from around your ego.
Come on.
George's fat stores aren't just shrinking.
Come on, Slim.
They're moving to where they are most needed.
What do you got?
To ensure a constant supply of instant energy, muscle cells have begun to stockpile their own mini fat reserves.
I tell you what, Henry seems a nice guy. Bit quiet. Could do with losing a bit of weight.
Maybe you could help him.
These changes to George's body aren't permanent. As quickly as they have come, they can go.
Nice one, Samson.
Fat is always just a few mouthfuls away.